And why I'm doing this is right down here, you guys can see it. Looks like there's been oil leaking from here. And I highly doubt these valve cover gaskets have ever been changed. Bundy's Garage, Bundy here. Today we're going to be doing the valve cover gaskets, I should say, on this 1GR-FE Toyota engine, 4.0 liter V6. The 1GR-FE actually comes in your Tacomas, your Toyota 4Runners, your FJ Cruisers, and some of your Tundras. So we're going to go over that. This is going to be an in-depth, detailed instruction on how to do that. We need to take this cover off. We need to take part of the air filter housing assembly out. Let's see. Let's take a look over there. We need to take this off. Take this snorkel out. I don't know if we need to take all this out. I might be able to just disconnect it from here. Got some wires we got to take care of. Not really a whole lot of stuff to get to. I mean, as far as what you need to take off, but more time consuming than anything. Probably not all that hard. But let me take you into there. So let me take this off. Probably just shove that out of the way. Air filter's right there. Two 10mm nuts hold this cover on. So let me get that, and I'll bring you right back. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Just using this little silicone tray. Picked up from Harbor Freight, US General. It's decent. It's not bad. Just put it off over the side here. Start with this hose here. Probably leave this hose on. Disconnect this part of the evap system over here. You have to disconnect the throttle body. Got some clips over here we needed to get rid of. Mass air flow sensor. Just be careful with this thing. Do not mess it up. That's out. 10mm bolt here. Let's keep going. Going to disconnect the throttle body connector. Boom. I get this hose right here. Some pistol grip needle nose pliers. Boom. Got that off. Let's disconnect this over here. The evap system. Pull that out. Pull this electrical clip off. Basically anything that holds the intake on. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, right here you have this bracket. There's 3 of them that hold the intake on. 1, 2, 3. Okay? What you can do, you don't have to remove these all the way. You can just loosen the, I'm going to try it. I'll try taking these off on the top, not touching the bottom bolt. See if I can get it out that way. If that doesn't work, and it might not work when you reassemble it, you have to loosen up the bottom bolt. Don't take it all the way. Just make this loose and then take out these bolts just to give yourself enough room to get the intake back into place. So let me start with this one. Looks like a 14mm. Got a long 14mm. Well, my bad. That's 12. Take that one out all the way. Take that one out. Take this one out. And I think I will have to end up, when I reinstall it, I'll eventually have to loosen up these brackets. Okay, so this right here, this hose, I actually installed an oil catch can on this 1GR-FE engine. I have a little hose clamp right here. We need to disconnect. Basically what I'm trying to do is disconnect everything and not disconnect things I don't need to disconnect. So I'm trying to take this upper intake out all as one piece. Okay, I don't want to disconnect a whole bunch of stuff I don't need to. It doesn't look like I need to mess with these coolant hoses at all. Just the things that I need to get this intake up and off. Get a little screwdriver for that. Pull that straight down. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'll take this left hemisphere, passenger side hemisphere, is that bolt, and should be this clamp that holds the hose onto the throttle body, and I should be able to get this side out. And we'll have to deal with this intake here in a second. Should be 10 millimeter. Okay, I have a bolt right here. I have a clip with wiring harness right there. Okay, should be 10 millimeter right there. Let's see if these are the same. Yes, exactly the same. These two bolts are exactly the same. Okay, and I'm stuck on, looks like I have an air hose, the vacuum line in the back. Yep, tiny little air hose, or vacuum line, tiny little vacuum line in the back. It's right there. Right there. Don't pull up on that. Do not break that. If you break that, you can take like a red straw from like a brake cleaner can, stick it in there and epoxy it back on. But try not to break that. Okay, so we have access to the passenger side valve cover gasket, or valve cover. We need to do the gasket. Okay, and then this, this side is a little bit more complicated to get off because you have these nuts and maybe 10 millimeter Allens. Let me take you down there, take a look at it. So the driver's side intake, you have these bolts, they're 10 or 12s, and then you have these Allens, right, that you're going to need to get out. And it probably has a intake manifold gasket under here as well. I have to end up getting one of those. I'll need to get this evap, part of the evap system, free and clear. And I don't think I need to take this bolt off. So let's keep going. I will need to take off the ignition coils. 3 on this side, 3 on the other side. And why I'm doing this is right down here. You guys can see it. Looks like there's been oil leaking from here. And I highly doubt these valve cover gaskets have ever been changed. 12 millimeter. We're here at the front. Just like that. Just like that. Real nice. Real nice. Okay, let me get this evap off. Looks like a 10 millimeter. Right up here at the top of your screen. Oh, okay. That bar's in the way. So it'll go like that. Okay, there's one back here. Just like that. Okay, I didn't take it out all the way. Can you guys see that? Right up here. I left this one, oh no, I took this one out, put it back into place so I don't lose it. Just loosen that one and move this bar out of the way so I can get this 10 millimeter nut. 10 millimeter bolt. Just putting it back so I don't lose it. Okay, so there's a bolt on that stud right there. And then right back here, you guys see it right in the middle of the screen right there. There's that bolt you need to get off, another 12 millimeter. Then you have these Allen screws. 1, 2 there. 1, 2 there. All right. Whatever you do, do not drop that bolt down there. All right. 12 millimeter. Just go nice and easy with it. Take your time. Do not drop it because you might not ever find it again. Yep, might help if I have the right socket on there. Try and get it loose. Okay. Ease up on that. Now, if I really wanted to, I could go get a magnetic pickup tool and try to grab it with my fingers here. Ooh. Felt like I was going to lose it there for a second. Got that out. Okay. Now I'll tell you what size those are. Let me come right back. Let me grab some of my Allen keys and get those off. All right, I have a set of long Allen keys I picked up from Husky, or I should say a long set of Allen keys I picked up from Home Depot, made by Husky. The one that you need is a 8mm. 8mm fits real nice down there. Real good. One time I had, not a Husky set, but another set. I had this little ball. There was so much tension on the bolt that I was trying to break off. This little ball just sheared off. If that ever happens to you, you guys can go back in there, grind this off. Just take a file to the edges so it's not rough, so that you can get down into the Allen where the Allen resides, and then get out that way. Yeah, this ball sheared off. Another thing to be aware of is when you do this, especially on Allens, is make sure that it is seated all the way down into the recessed part, okay? So make sure that it's all the way down in there, not sticking up a little bit, not halfway out, halfway in. You want it all the way down there. If there's dirt, if you work on a bolt that there's dirt in there, clean that dirt out. Get some compressed air, some brake cleaner, get that dirt out. Because you don't want to strip this out, have this rounded off when you're trying to get in there and get it loose. Okay, I'm not going to use my electric here. I'm going to use my 3/8 ratchet I have. This one is Craftsman, which is actually sold at Lowe's now. Guys, if you guys remember Sears, leave a comment down below. I used to love Sears, man. Had one in Riverside where I used to live. Go get my tools, my shorts, my clothes, my suits, and my shoes and be ready for work. So, it sucks. Every time I think about Sears, a tear comes to my eye. I get sad. It hurts my heart. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Let's get these out. Make sure it's all the way seated. All the way seated. Pull gently. Boom. I'll put up the torque spec for what these are when you guys got to put it back down. This one's a little bit more stuck. Going back and forth. So right there, I could feel that it was kind of on the one on the right hand side. I could feel it was kind of binding up. So what I did, I loosened it up, and then I went back and tightened it a smidgen, and then I loosened it back up, and it broke free. Kind of doing this blind, trying to see where I'm at. There you go. Okay, they're all loose. Let's see how long these suckers are. So when you take this intake out, or I should say, when you take the intake off, be careful, because it'll lead down right into the piston, where the valves are and the pistons are, and you don't want anything getting ingested down in there. So my suggestion to you, and I'll do it as well, is put some paper towels down there, or lay a rag or a towel, so you don't lose anything down there. Rocks, stones, change, money. Got all the bolts and the nuts that were holding this side of the intake on, driver's side. So I'm going to try to pull it up. Hopefully I've got everything disconnected on the back and the front. And I did. Right on, dude. Right on. Okay, so right here on the bottom, you have a couple gaskets, 3 gaskets. 1, 2, 3. It is highly, 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 highly recommended you change these. I'll put some links down in the description below where you guys can pick these up on Amazon. If you need it right away, you could probably go to O'Reilly's and pick it up as well. But go ahead and change these out. You don't want to have any leaks here. They don't look too bad. They don't feel too bad. I've seen it where these are actually pretty compressed down. So let's keep going. This is what I was talking about. Once you get the intake off, you have 6 holes that go right down into where the cylinders are. And you don't want anything falling down there and ruining your day. All right, so go ahead. I'll get some paper towels. Put 6 paper towels down in there. And then I'll start taking off the valve covers. I had to do a repair here. Some rats chewed the wiring. I actually have rat tape now, or anti-rat tape, I should say. It deters rats from chewing the wires. Here's your injectors. Just one thing that you need to do before, once you get everything done, do not forget to take the paper towels back out after you put them back in. or after you put them in. I did have to take these brackets off all the way to get to all the bolts that surround the valve cover surround the valve cover. So yeah, go ahead and take these off. Same size bolts on the top and the bottom, or the top and the bottom, and I marked them. So that'd be one over there, 2, and 3. Got the paper towels in place. I'm not gonna disconnect the electrical connector. I'm just gonna take the 10mm bolt out, take the ignition coil, lay it up over the side, and then go around and get all the chingaderas out. Let's see, what the heck is going on here? Looks like I have some air hoses, or vacuum lines, I should say. I have a 10mm bolt right there that I need to disconnect, and then I'll be able to get that free and clear. And I just have a group of 10mm bolts. Boom, boom, boom. Just got to go around, get them all loose. So let's go from there. You guys want to watch this? I'll speed it up for you guys so you guys can see what the Master Bundy is doing. Actually, I'm not that conceited, so I'm sure there's guys out there that know a lot more than I do. I'm going to have to disconnect the electrical connector from the ignition coils. Just be careful, because sometimes these are really stuck on there, or not stuck on there. What do you call it? Fragile, and sometimes they'll just break when you guys try to remove them. You get some of those pliers that are used for taking connectors out. So what I'm doing here, I'm just slowly pushing the thing down and pulling out at the same time. A little bit tough to do with my hands. Looks good. Twist. If it's stuck, pull up and out. This is actually part of the PVC system. When I put an oil catch can in here, so I just need to get this hose off so I can get the valve cover free and clear. I have one more bolt back here I need to disconnect, holding the vacuum hoses, kind of like this one here. And then I can go around and get all the valve cover bolts out. Just showing you right there that the recessed part of the valve cover, where the valve cover gasket actually sits, isn't bad looking at all. That head looks extremely clean. So the valve cover gasket actually comes off fairly easy. Sometimes these are rock hard, like, I mean, talking about a stone. Sometimes you have to burn them off with fire. So this came off relatively easy. Just showing you right there, that's where you need to put FIPG, Toyota Form in Place Gasket 103 seal pack. I'll put a link down in the description below to that. Okay, got the valve cover off. Wasn't that hard, just had to disconnect some of the, I should have disconnected all the connectors to the fuel injectors, but I did 2 of them and then slid it out. You have these 2 back here. Can you guys see it? There's one right there. And right back there, kind of top where my finger's pointing. You guys can see it way at the very back corner, bottom corner next to the firewall. You have a stud that you have to clear. You also have 3 right in the middle, 10 millimeters. 1, 2, 3. I believe somebody's been in here before, but I don't think it was a Toyota dealership. The reason why is because this valve cover gasket is not rock hard, but whoever did it, what you're supposed to do, and what I'm going to do, and what the Toyota recommends, right here, this is the front cover for the timing chain. This is the head, right here. This little valley, can you guys see that? Right there, you're supposed to put RTV, Toyota Seal Pack 103, and you're supposed to put it down here as well, right there where my finger's at. Alright, and that wasn't there when I took it off. So somebody's been in here, not a trained person, because this isn't rock hard, but there was no RTV or Toyota Seal Pack, I should say FIPG back there. So I picked up the new valve cover gasket from, where did I get it from? I think it was O'Reilly's, Felpro. Got the intake manifold gaskets right here. There's upper and lower ones. Part number is MS96671 for those of you who cannot read. Also got a new air filter. But I'll put links down in the description below. You guys can pick all this stuff up on Amazon. Alright, so this looks really, really clean. I'm just going to get the new Felpro valve cover gasket and put the seal pack on the corners there and down there, and put everything back together, and then I'll do the passenger side. I know it looks like a jumbled mess, but it's not. You just have to be careful when you're taking the valve cover out. You don't pull up too far on these wiring harness, because it doesn't give you a whole lot of room down there to get up and out. Little pea-size form-in-place gasket right there. Pea-size form-in-place gasket right there. Then we start putting everything back down. Taking some 3M dielectric grease, just putting in them inside the ignition coils. This allows basically the spark plug, or actually the ignition coil, to come off the spark plug relatively easy after it's been in there a while, all the heat cycles and all that stuff. And then also put on the outside of the rubber as well, just putting the Three 10mm bolts back in the ignition coils and just tighten them down by hand. Putting the connectors back on. Putting the bolts back for the vacuum line. And then connecting the injectors as well. All right, got this side all back together. Wrap this in Honda rodent tape. It's has the consistency of electrical tape, and rats were chewing this. And I had to fix it. I had to fix it a while back. So now that I had the intake off, I just figured I'd wrap them. The main thing, this isn't very hard. The driver's side isn't hard, really, all that much. Just make sure you get these 3 bolts out in the middle. I forgot about those. Then you have 7. You have 5 bolts on the outside, 2 nuts down at the bottom, 1 in the back corner. I disconnected the fuel injectors right here, the connector for the fuel injector, just to get a little bit more room on the harnesses, so I get the valve cover up and out. The valve cover bolts call for 4.4 foot-pounds or 53 inch-pounds. I did it down to 10 foot-pounds just because that's the lowest my torque wrench will go. So I got these all down to 10 foot-pounds. Should be okay. Good idea is to take a mirror and get a flashlight and go down at the very bottom to make sure that you can see the blue valve cover gasket here. You can kind of see it right here, right there. I'm going to do the passenger side now. I marked this little connector because I'm going to have to take this connector. I just want to make sure I get it because you have, these are your cam phasers, I believe. I could be wrong, but I just marked it so that I know where it goes exactly. Going to have to take out the ignition coils, 3 10mm bolts. Probably take out the fuel injector connector. Then once again, you have bolts here, a couple nuts. It looks like the passenger side is quite a bit easier than the driver's side. So you have the snorkel for the air box. I'm just going to take it off. Sorry you can't see it. It's right here off screen. Right here. It makes it a little bit easier to gain access as well. 3 10mm bolts. Get the ignition coil connectors off. So Toyota has these cool little clips right here. They go onto the studs and hold the part of the wiring harness gets held on by this. To get these off, you just have to push them up and out. But due to the age of this vehicle, sometimes they end up breaking. Just get a little screwdriver, pop it up. Not going to take this hose off. Twist these ignition coils. Get them up and out. Lay them off to the side here. I'm going to disconnect the wiring harness for disconnect the connector for the fuel injector. 1, 2. Okay, got this hose right here. I'm going to leave that hose on. Looks like everything else is up and out. Okay, this thing should just come right up and out. Looks like I have a 10mm bolt here holding part of the wiring harness that goes to the side of the vehicle. Got to pull that out, 10mm. Just using a 10mm 3/8 deep socket with a Chemo 3/8 electric ratchet. Love this little thing. Put a link down in the description below. You guys can pick one up on Amazon. Great little gun. Don't lose that. Short little guy. Just a tiny little guy. Push that wiring harness, that bracket out of the way, and just putting the bolt back. Okay, let me show you this rear one. Okay, you have this rear one right here. It's a little, is it a nut? Or yeah, it's a nut. You guys see that? It's a nut right there. Where my finger's touching right now. So I put a socket on it 10mm deep, and it hits the line. It's on there. It hits the line for the AC, which you can see right there. So I'm gonna have to get a short 1/4 inch, 10mm long, 10mm deep. Okay, I got it loose. All right, looks like this one should be a lot easier than the other side. A little piece of wood, give it a little love tap, love tap, love tap. The lovely love tap. Give it a little love tap so you don't break it loose. There we go. You have to clear these two studs at the back, and it should come right out. Boom. Just like that, baby. Super easy. Man, these inside of the valve covers look amazing. Look at that. Amazing. Amazing. Actual valve cover gasket. Yep, stayed in place like the other one. Let's see, did they put the RTV in the spot that they should? Should be right there. Not really. Nope. So whoever did this did a decent job, but I just didn't know what they were doing all the way. Okay. The gasket is not like rock hard. I've seen these things where they're like a stone. So next will be to clean up this surface area. It's a little bit, it's not that bad. It's a little bit more dirty on this side than the other side. But look how immaculate, look how clean the inside of the cylinder head looks. Looks amazing. Nice and smooth. No damage. Everything looks real nice, real nice. Man, look at that. Chain is good. I don't know if we're the 4th or 5th owners of this vehicle, but it's coming up on 300,000 miles, and it looks immaculate. Look at the inside of that valve cover. Looks real nice, and that looks really good too. So let me clean this up, and I'll bring you guys back. All right, gentlemen, I will leave you here. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. If you've gotten this far, you can figure out the rest. Just taking out the gaskets on the bottom of the upper intake. You replace them with Felpro. The kit that Felpro sends out comes with the lower intake and the upper intake manifold gaskets. The lower ones are steel, and the top ones that you guys are seeing right here that are used are actually just rubber. So this job is not hard, really, it's not really hard at all. The toughest part was getting the driver's side valve cover off, just the wires and all the stuff that was in the way and the brackets. So just take your time, be smart about it. Don't let anything fall down into the cylinders there where the valves are. Cover that with a rag or a paper towels. Make sure the valve cover gasket does not fall out when you put it back on, because you have to turn the valve cover upside down. So don't let that valve cover fall out or fall out of place when you're putting it back down, because you'll run into oil leak problems, especially towards the back, towards the firewall, and then where the seals around the oil tube. It's an oil tube O-ring that the that the 3 are forming in the middle of the valve cover. But there you go, guys. If this has helped you out, please consider subscribing to Bundy's Garage. If you need any help, you can always reach out to me at bundysgarage@gmail.com. And like always, I'll keep them rolling for you.